hoopinhoops.com. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the content, please let me know. Okay, so let's get into it. Scottie Pippen has a book that is coming out, and there are excerpts from the book that is making headlines. I will admit I'm not going to take the same route as everybody else. Not that I think they're wrong, but there is a side that I believe that is not getting the appropriate attention. In some cases, I may disagree with what persons have said, but I will not go into any deviations I have from what persons have said right now. So, one of the things Scotty said is that he is responsible for Michael Jordan being great. At least that's how some analysts seem to view it. From the quotations I saw, I think Scotty named himself and some other teammates. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that he said he's responsible for Michael Jordan being great. I can see some people waiting for me to say something controversial. That's not going to happen. At least not really. No, I do not think Scotty is responsible for MJ being great. MJ certainly had the skills to be great, and that could be seen from the time he entered into the league from his first season. But let's sit back for a moment and pretend to be in Scotty's shoes. Michael is making a documentary about the last dance, the last year, the last championship, whatever it may be. But of course, we know it turned out to be more than just about the last dance. Scotty feels slighted because he's not happy about the way he's portrayed. The question is, does he have a good reason? There is the possibility that he might. There is a possibility he may not. But let's look at it a little bit closer. Throughout Michael Jordan's early years in the league, he did not win a championship until Scottie Pippen became the player that was on his way to being what many people call one of the top 50 players to ever play the game. Like I said, put yourself in Scottie's shoes for a moment. Now, no doubt Jordan had the skills, but without the winning, would we have spoken about MJ as the greatest of all time? Skills is great, but skills without winning doesn't make a player an all time great. The thing is, without Scotty, would MJ have won 6 championships? Would he have gone 6 for 6? Who knows? If Scotty did not show up when he did, there is the possibility that Michael's success may have been delayed, or maybe it would have gone down a different path. So Scotty is feeling a bit hurt. He may feel that he was an important part of MJ's success as a winner. Also, think about the era in which Michael won. Who was the player at that time with the skill set that Scotty brought to the table, who could have replaced Scotty and be just as effective for the Bulls during that time? With the amount of time that was put into the last dance to slight Scottie Pippen, if the same amount of time was put in to say there was a bad Scotty, but you know, there was a good Scotty as well who contributed to the winning, would Scotty be feeling the way he's feeling? You know, maybe not. So it's possible that Scotty has a right to feel, just a bit slighted because, as I said, skills is great, but the skills and the winning make success. the success elevates one to greatness. And from that standpoint, we could see that Scotty feels that he contributed to MJ's success, to MJ's greatness. And Scotty is the one staple throughout all the six championships that MJ got. So just maybe, just maybe there might be a little bit of justification on his on Scotty's side. Now, of course, Scotty went overboard with some of the things he was saying. I mean, I could get into all of that. He called what Phil Jackson racist and some other stuff. Of course, Phil Jackson, I don't think he's a racist, but we'll leave that alone for now. The other thing is that he said MJ made the last dance because he was concerned about LeBron being bigger than him. Again, I do not think MJ cared about um, LeBron James being bigger than him. What Michael Jordan cares about is his pocket and the money he makes. This is not something people talk about much anymore. But look back throughout MJ career as a player, and even for quite a while after he stopped playing. Those who remember back then will also remember that there were multiple times when there was concern that, about Michael Jordan and, you know, what he cares about in relation to money. I could go even back to, when he was a minority owner with the Wizards, and persons were saying that, some players would not want to come to play for him because when he was a player, he wanted to get paid. But when players come to play for him, he did not want to cough it up. So, no one is saying that he did not do a gesture here or there, a good deed and so on. But in general, Michael is concerned about, he has that concern about lining his pockets. Okay. And so when the last dance came out, it's not so much that he cared about LeBron, but what he cared about is his immortality fading in the eyes of future generations. If that happens, then it means a reduction in sales in his brand. In other words, the money coming in is now going to fade. So maybe, you know, Scotty has a little bit of a point when he says he cares about LeBron being bigger than him. It's not exactly that way. He's concerned about somebody else replacing him in terms of the money they make from, you know, brand sales and that sort of thing. So Scotty, what he's saying it badly and more or less presenting his arguments in the wrong way. Hoopinhoops.com.